Okay, we're going to do a little demonstration on installing our new LS power and spoiler. We got the inspiration of this for our 69 car that we're building. Do we have to put one on still? But we had to perfect it first. So Tyler started this back in, I believe, February, somewhere in March, we started from scratch. This idea came from the Z06 spoiler that's out there from General Motors. So we're using our rear clip that has our hot top rear window with our flares on it. We built our version of a spoiler. You know, fiberglass parts, the designs of what we're doing and everyone else is doing, it was kind of brought to me, it's like a song. There's only so many chords to work with in a song. And so everybody's going to have their own little version. Some things may look a little similar, but we all are doing our own thing. I just noticed what we practiced to do is I had it drummed in my head for 3 years. It's called dress right dress, making everything equal. The left side matches the right side. We make templates. We go back and forth. We have sweep gauges. We're checking everything. We make nothing flat. When you make something flat, it doesn't look right. So we work really hard at it. And Tyler came into the picture here 5 years ago with me from the Saginaw Career Complex. He was a senior and he's learning the craft of making something and trying to make it the best you can make it. In our parts, we use the same resin that we use in making a mold. Everybody wants to use vinyl ester resin to make a mold because your mold's going to last longer. It's going to make a better mold. Well, gee, why don't we do the same thing with the parts? Why do we want to use a lower price per pound production resin to save a couple bucks when we're trying to build a premium part? So we use vinyl ester resin in everything that we do. Everything from step by step. We double check, we triple check, and once in a while we make a mistake. For the 69 car, this rear clip is sold to a customer. We have to get ready to ship it. We're going to do our install of the bolt-on, then we're going to do a bond-on version. He sent us a template that we cut out of a panel that he had purchased, and we use that as a template to cut out this script. Corvette, something we never put in our mold because it's a registered trademark of General Motors. And General Motors frowns on that when you do that. So this is a one-off that we cut into an existing panel. We do not have a mold of it. We will not make a mold of it. So if you want to do something like this, you're on your own. So back to our LS Power spoiler. Our spoiler is designed with 4 mechanical fasteners on the back side, hidden so you do not see them. Gives you the sweep of everything that you need. So in doing this, these are 3/8 head bolts, and these bolts are engineered to fit this spoiler. So if you use a bolt that's too long, you're going to come through the outside side of it. So suggest when you get one of these spoilers from us, don't lose the bolts. And so in tools, you'll need a 3/8 socket with an extension. We're cheating a little bit because we're doing this on a clip that's not on a car. But you can get your arms up in there with a long extension, 3/8. You might want to put a swivel on it. You're going to need a set of drill bits. You're going to need a couple rolls of tape, naturally a drill to do it with. And so first thing in doing this, we set our spoiler up on the car. We take our Sharpie and pretty much just draw a line to where it's going to fit on the car. So we've drawn our line, which is really kind of hard to see in black, but I can see it good enough. Okay, so now we have our perimeter drill drawn, and we're going to do the same thing on the back side of the spoiler and the front side, and mark where the holes are. You're going to bring that mark around to the front. And you can do this with a lot of different items, just a quick and easy way to do it. and to double check yourself. So when you receive our spoiler, it's going to have two holes drilled up here for vent. You have to have ventilation go through an enclosed part like this. If you don't, the gases and the heat that will end up inside of this can take a chance of kind of splitting it apart. So you know, when something gets hot, it expands. Well, if this didn't have the relief from the vent, it would expand. There's a chance of it breaking or loose. That's why we do that. So there's your 4 holes. These 4 holes have steel plates behind them, 1/4-20 steel plates that we install in every one of them. So we tape the outside of this off. And now we're going to come back. Now we're going to come back with our Sharpie and measure off of our marks back to where we're going to drill our holes. So there we have our 4 holes marked. And you'll check that your measurement is 3 1/8 inches back from the front edge of this. Okay, so you also want to come back in here and lay some tape on the inside perimeter of this. We're going to come and measure from here to that center of that hole is 3 1/8 inches. So we'll put our ruler up here. So we're going to come back here and measure 3 1/8. So now Tyler's going to go through here and he's going to drill his 4 pilot holes. God, where'd you get that nice set of drill bits? They're all in there. You must hide these from everybody, huh? 3/16 of an inch. So now we're going to come back with a 5/16 and drill our hole for the last time. Went side to side, just oblong that 5/16, about 1/8 of an inch each way. So now we got a little wiggle room. And as you can see, there's our bolt hole. I think it's going to be somewhat of a tough fit to get your hand up between your frame.
So prior to bonding any fiberglass to another panel, you always want to rough up the surfaces of the things you'll be bonding. So you want to use an abrasive grit, whether it's 24 to 80 grit on a grinder or 80 grit or 40 grit on an orbital sander. So as you can see here, I've taken this 80 grit on a DA and I've pretty much roughed up the entire surface that will be bonding to the backside of the spoiler. So you know you've sanded enough when you have a flat dull surface and you can actually see the grit and the scratch that you put into the part. So it'll go from shiny, as far as our parts, a Class A shiny finish to a dull, flat, gray finish. Then you know you sanded enough.
We showed you about the vent holes. Now that we're going to bond this on the body, we still have to make 2 more vent holes to come in from the bottom so the spoiler can still breathe. You still don't want to trap air in any part. We're back to our epoxy table. Set of scales, grams, 2 to 1. 2 parts epoxy, 1 part hardener. Those scales zeroed out. It's a nice thing with epoxy. It doesn't kick quick like a polyester bond material. What I like about this instead of the cartridge, if you need just a little, you can mix just a little. If you need a lot, like what we're doing, you can mix a lot. And it just takes practice over time to know how much to mix. I started using this stuff in 1973. Still don't know how much to mix half the damn time. Sam's, cups, Gordon's, tongue depressors. Google it, you'll find it. Now the other thing is, if you're putting this on a car that you're bonding it on with epoxy, it'd be questionable if you even need to bolt it on, because you got a nice big flange and it's going to hold it, like gluing on a quarter panel. This, oh by the way, you are catching us using mechanical fasteners, but they're hidden, because we never use screws anywhere you're going to see the painted over. So that's our LS Power spoiler installed. Nice and firm sounding. We use epoxy. We let it cure overnight. Always like to put a little heat lamp on it just to make sure it's totally cured when we're done. And so it's roughed in. It's ready to go in the box. We're shipping it off, and I'm sure somebody's gonna have a lot of fun building this one. Hopefully everybody understands what I'm trying to do here is we're trying to create something new, something exciting. We're trying to build a nice dealer network to have some dealers around the country. But for those guys that are at home doing their own work, we're trying to help you out by showing you what we do. And it's taken a lot of years of practice in doing this. So if you look at some of our history where some of us came from, I started in 1972 working for a guy named Jim Downs in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Learned a lot from that man, and I've just kept grabbing a hold of wherever I can learn constantly. And today with the internet, boy, it's so much easier. They're so easy to learn. People are sharing, and that's all we're trying to do, get our point across and make everybody happy. So if you own a shop and you want to buy our product, give us a call. We'd love to work with you. If you're working at home, you're retired, this is your dream. That's what this is all about. For me, it's a dream. I get to do what I want to do every day of my life. And I still get to do it 7 days a week right now. But I only work half days, 12 hours, and I go home. So, thanks for watching.
That's a wrap.